guys, Sullivan Owen here in Philadelphia. Today I'm just going to be kind of messing around with some flowers. I have some really beautiful stuff left over. I was working in New York earlier this week. But the base of what I think is going to be my first design, is actually all cut from my garden. I started a challenge maybe 3-4 weeks ago, beginning of February, that I wanted to try to go out into the yard and cut something to make a design for our home out of the garden, no matter what. And I've done it 3 weeks in a row now. I'm certainly kicking myself thinking that I could have waited at least until spring, because as you can see, this week I'm using a lot of dried grasses and seed pods and things like that. But I'm gonna add some fresh flowers to it. I've been posting the all from the garden directly on my Instagram. But I have so much pretty stuff, it's kind of tempting to add a few things to it. So I thought I would do that for YouTube, for you guys. So let's just jump in. Alright, so I just added in some slightly aged raspberries. They came from California. They're thornless. Definitely using them this time of year makes me want to plant them in our garden, but I think the best raspberries for eating have thorns, and I certainly do not need to add any more things with thorns to our garden. So our New Jersey grown hellebore. They're a little short. I think I'm gonna save some and make a short-handled bouquet with them. So I have two choices for like a big focal flower that I could add. I have this massive Ranunculus from, it's probably French or Italian, or I have this Tulip, which is not Belle Epoque because it's got more petals, but it has the similar coloration. So we'll see. I planted a bunch of these coppery type of tulips, so I'm hoping maybe after mine bloom I'll be able to better identify what color this is. But you can see they both do different things in the design. Adding the tulip kind of, I probably will use both, but there's like a moodiness that comes from just using the dark, and it brings out the pink in this grass. And the tulip brings out kind of like, warmth is really not enough of the word. It just kind of brings out the orange tones, whereas this kind of pulls in some more of the pink tones, if that makes sense. So I think I might turn down my light real quick. I really need to do a studio tour to show you guys how I film. I have this light that I think of as the sun, because as you can see, the sun comes behind me. I mean, at some point the sun will move over and it won't be so direct, but I kind of enjoy the light. But I have like a huge diffuse light that I use to light the table against the backlight. So, but it was really bright. I must have been using it on super high, but yeah, it's basically like the sun in here. I'm gonna do something else with these. This is why we always say, not we, but I see, oh, and it looks like I have this grass kind of going up my nose. Who needs peonies this time of year when you can get ranunculus that are this incredible? I wish that more events besides Valentine's Day happened in February and March. I've only ever really had one big March wedding where we could like really utilize all the early flowering branches, all this gorgeous ranunculus, poppies, all the things that the floral industry has for early spring before they hit, you know, yards and gardens in like zones 8 through 6. So you really don't need a whole lot. And I'm so glad I decided to try to utilize as much of the interesting, even drying, dying stuff in our garden. I liked it on its own, but obviously this is pretty special. So if you want to see what I end up making each week from my garden, you can follow me over on Instagram at Sullivan_Owen. If you love all things flora, I hope you'll subscribe to my channel, like this video by giving it a thumbs up, share it with a flower loving friend, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh, and if you thought the tulip looked better, or I should have done both, leave me a comment below. All right, guys, thanks so much. I'll see you soon.